As I said, it's number one. Number one is number one. It is the first number of all numbers. And then when we come to number nine, again after number nine, we start off with the number one. So number one everywhere is a beginning, which in itself proves that they are beginners of things. They're the first ones to do things. In my initial videos, I had said that I'm a numerologist too and a motivational speaker. I had made a few videos on numerology and the basics of numerology, how to understand numerology, what are the important things that one has to see if you want to understand numerology, and how all calculations and perceptions are done about any person with any number. So if anybody wishes to see those, they can always go back and see my videos on destiny number, birth number, zodiac number, and name spelling number. I mean, I've given a brief description about everything in this. So today, I think I'll talk about number one. Since the numbers are from 1 to 9, so each number has its own aura, it has its own significance, its characteristics, and whichever planet they are associated with, they have the traits or the characteristics of that planet. So, since we're talking about number one is associated with the sun. Now, what does the sun do for us? We get energy from the sun, sunlight. In fact, the entire world functions on the basis of sun. So, it's a giving planet. So, in the same way, all people who come under number 1, number 10, number 19, and number 28, they all are the ones whose number, their birth number, is going to be taken as number 1. Now, the thing is that number 1 people are very, very charismatic. They have a wonderful aura about themselves. They have a nature to give like the sun. And they are people who, in a way, you can say, have come to this world to give. They have very noticeable personalities, and they do a lot around themselves, around people. They have leadership qualities. They're very stable people, mature for their age. They take responsibility a lot. They, as I said, they cater to the needs of various people, and they are not hyper otherwise, like if there's anything exciting happening in their lives, or if anything is normal, or if they come to know about a certain thing, it's not that they are going to, overreact or jump with joy or show a big smile on their faces and all. I mean, they'll be just calm, neutral, and accept whatever is being told to them in a very dignified way. Majority, as I said, they are mature and they know how to handle situations very well. And usually, number 1 people are very, very successful, and they have traits of leadership which can make them very good leaders, whether in politics or running big companies and places where you need to be a head of an institution. They would fit in very well there because their administrative skills are also very good. And but there are a few things that at times I think that they should keep a check on, which is their aggression. They are slightly arrogant and aggressive. Their ego is a very big problem for them. I mean, they can't hear a no from anybody. And there's one thing about them, that they always think that they're right about everything. So it's difficult to have a discussion with a number one. At times, of course, there are different people of number one. Every number one is not going to be the same. But yes, they have this thing of feeling sure that whatever they are saying is right, and take offense if anybody corrects them or suggests to them something which is against their will. And you can never force them to do anything. If they wish to do it, only then they shall do it. Otherwise, they will never do it. I did say that they are very responsible also. In a family, usually, if there's a child, if there are two siblings and one of them is the younger one and the other one is the elder one, the younger one, if he's the number one, will be more responsible and will shoulder more responsibility than the elder one. They're givers. They don't like to. They can't say no to anybody. If anybody asks them for anything, any help, they're always ready to help. Just like we say, no, the sun, you get everything from it. Same way. Number one is quite a good representative of the sun. And they are easy people to deal with. They have aggression and ego, but it's not that they show it to the full world. It's just at times, or maybe with family or with people who are very close. There's one thing that at times I think they should be careful about is that they take a lot of risks in life. I mean, they go ahead with any kind of agenda in which they know the risks, but they still carry on with that work, and they take a lot of risks, which at times can go against them. Though they are givers, they have a very good reputation everywhere. I mean, they are really, really liked by people around them, and they get a lot of respect from people, irrespective of the fact whether they are financially sound or they are in a average financial state. But they will always get respect from people. Very likable people. I mean, everybody they are around with, they have an aura which which reflects and shows them that they stand out in a crowd, and their energy levels are very high because they are always ready to start up a new thing, and if they've taken any task in their hand, they make it a point and they're sure that they will accomplish that task and wait and finish it before moving on. And whenever they have to think about or plan about anything, they are always doing it in advance. They never wait for the last minute to start anything or execute anything. They plan to do everything in advance. They're pre-planned, and because of which their management skills are very good, and they are able to carry on their work, smoothly because everything is planned out by them. They're very daring people, fearless. They don't get disheartened or afraid of situations that come up, which can cause anxiety or stress to anybody. And they're usually the beginners of everything. Like, as I said, it's number one. Number one is number one. It is the first number of all numbers. And then when we come to number 9, again after number 9, we start off with the number 1. So number 1 everywhere is a beginning, which in itself proves that they are beginners of things. They're the first ones to do things. For example, they could be pioneers of certain things, like any kind of business or any kind of position. It could be that if they are number 1, they could be one of the first ones to be on it. And because they're worthy of it also. It's not that it's just in their destiny to be like that. They're worthy of it. They have those skills that make them reach a certain level in life where they are given a lot of respect for the way they function. In a way, they are almost always moving a few steps ahead of others. And as I said, they have leadership qualities, so they would make very good politicians or head of institutions because they have those traits of leadership which take them very far in life. There are a few things that can go against them also, that they can keep a check on, because when they are having work executed from people who are working under them, because they could be entrepreneurs or they could be running their own businesses. So then they have people working under them, whether in the business or in some company if they are employed somewhere. They are strict administrators. Matlab, you can say that they have a bit of dictatorship in them, which at times can give them trouble or not be liked by the people around. And they give a lot of importance to their work. So when they give so much importance to their work, then they, no doubt, they're good at balancing things. But when they give a lot of importance to work, they at times tend to make their family life secondary, due to which it has an impact on their family lives. They need to know how to balance their work and their personal life. So I think this is one thing that number one people should work on, and if they want, they can, because they're good listeners and they are open to uh, learning anything, reaching out for anything. So, but at, at the spur of the moment, when they are in aggression or they are not in a state of mind where they will be soft and they will have that dictatorship trait in them, at that point they forget that this is going against them. So that is one thing that they should keep a check on. I think there's actually a lot to tell about number one people. I would like to go ahead about them. There's loads. I think I'll add more to my next video when I talk about number one. Till then, you can wait for my next video, which is going to be on number two. Thanks.